Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates.
I got to tell you, a revolution, a successful revolution, demystifies institutions and arrogant individuals. This is why, because we are having a successful revolution, Obwakabaka will be demystified. Bakabaka bali bameka. Lwaki motoka baseka konti limited. The more you have many. Wali wakati omuntu akyavira minister mu ntebe mu church. There are many. They have been demystified. Universities are more than 40. A degree has been demystified. Abajazi, olaba jena atambuze bigere. Nga ina bakadogo be babiri mu referent yakumiwe mundu bbiri. Nga awomba taxi mina womba na watoto wangu. That is a successful revolution. A successful revolution demystifies arrogant individuals and institutions. We are having a successful revolution. So if I'm awarding a marks, mweche muba mukola gwe babadde okuwandika concept paper batambulidde na mu mmotoka nga mbalaba we bavudde. Where are we heading? Nibaga people like Mirundi, they're very useful, but at times he uses fiction. Fiction. But nibaga Mirundi energizes the population. Umuyibuliro batula banzite kuteesa n'agaana. That's my political side. Ne batula banzite tumukunde n'agaana. Oyo omusajja atuyamba nnyo. Yes. But he defends Museveni alone. What if Museveni goes? Nabaga oyo omusajja abayamba. Akulinga society. Ogwese gwakubiri. Ogwokusatu. Gundi yagaana. Lwaboko. The last one. Yagana tumwebaze nti Mirundi ate musambo oba tomumanyi.
Bata oli musambwa
gwaba mweyana. Naga nti bamweyana mutamifu. Bamweyana anyomu newunyiza Lwaboko. Yaga nti I researched in the Uganda culture and I came across a character called Bamweyana. Bamweyana smokes marijuana. Bamweyana drinks. Bamweyana appears drunk, but Bamweyana is smart, highly intelligent. Namugamba nti Mirundi bamweyana. Minus a few things. That's true. Wano okawe batajja. Bamweyana mulalu.
Watu wano tebajja wano tewaliwo kyetaxa.
Everywhere you go
with bamweyana.
Abalalu babeerawo nemba wa sente. But wembeera batunda. Bamweyana mugobi wa ddiiro. Ayambala ekkanzu n'enkufiira ye yansansa. I don't smoke. I don't drink walachi.
What do you drink?
That's minus. But Lwaboko told it to mwebaze. That man is bamweyana.
Obazi yali gogo yali.
Anti yabugambi Mirundi is bamweyana. Toyina kyo sobola mukola. Si fiction. Si fiction mwenda yabaga nti ayina majini. How does he see us? Yes. You left a man. You left the house on steps. When I was watching you drove for a distance. So in a statement, no, where are we heading it to? Mbalaba. Zino machine zajja kulema. Kakati ono tachimanyi. Head up with these people. Singa abantu bano bali serious. Ngati bali coordinated, bali stupid in popular bazigula. Ewamu yali badde second lead. And you don't arrest this man alone. This is a man kubanga bwe baba luwoza obusiru arrogance eya monitor okwita nti bagezi nnyo omuntu yenna arrogance eto obwongo anxiety eto obwongo okulowooza nti gwe mugezi wekka baloya bakina bamuyita devil's advocate mu nsi muno tukiyita meditation. A devil's advocate means nti loya Mirundi bwamugula okuwabira mukunja baloya abagezi bakayalingayo loya munnaabwe nakola defense kumukunja ne ba harmonizing the two. Tukita devil's advocate. When you are putting this newspaper on the street, understand that Mirundi is there. Ajagalaba. One yali badde second lead bali jemu. This is a man who helped you during COVID. Why didn't you suck this Mulago money during COVID? This is when there was money. 2, who has recommended the sacking of this Mulago man? Is it an IGG's report? Is it an General's report? Where? Embula majesi. Embula majesi. Embula majesi. This, let me tell you. One Mulago doctor committed suicide. I said, I've been saying that the two Mulago doctors were Yomba and Wawuya, and we are detained in The Hague. But what are you looking at? We try to get scientific research. There is in Uganda in Masaka who left the country. There is a doctor in Lugazi. He disappeared. There is a Ugundi beri agenda okufa. Ono Professor Kanyeres came to me. Kanyeres is related to Mpanga Kojawe. Kanyeres wanted to come with Mpanga. Kanyeres met the chairman of this group who is heavily involved. This man met Wawuya and Weyomba at Makere College Inn to introduce them to this case. I captured them. Nkakukubira akatambi. Wawuya stammers. Nebatuza meeting to fundraise money for me. Bonna ne bakungana. The chairman reported that the Masaka money is still in operation. Yabitunda Tanzania. Ngambalaba badokita bonna abasizi nabalaba.
Bakati bafuka
nebagamba nti police pathologist yagenda ku KFM naga nti biriyo ne muga chiddemu why do you go to KFM? Kakati this case evalemeredde and they mishandled it. The best way of handling this case yaliemu sikuwaba amawulire babwa abamonita 10 billion mwete babawo. The media was given money. Money was given 10 billion. Ba chebali bakoze kyali kimu. Bali kirizanti, we are hearing a madman bamweyana claiming that we are killing people in hospitals. I always tell you that the Chinese had established a cell in Sir Albert Cook where my daughter was killed. I'm looking for the doctor to kill him. The woman who had ruined my wife, Oyazaro Yugun, Tamale, into a trap of Amute, Bakaita Nabokera. She was operating in one day. No. Nkononya nkatti ne dokita bwanambula njamu baladu nga alya n'abaana b'emmere mutte ne family laddu yesigalidde generali Mpenduzo tumuyita generali Mpenduzo ye wa Air Force commander wa Air Force mu traditional generali Mpenduzo jolaze yonna njamu baladu nga alina abaana be nga bali emmere yatta omwana nge nabba n'omulongo omu kati baba aligambye nti we are hearing this madman talking about the organic case. The government has instituted an inquiry to investigate these allegations. Why? When you make an internal ICC is not a court of appeal. ICC comes in to fight impunity. Mukitegedde? Singa bakkiriza Minister wa Health ne Doctors Association ne batekawo inquiry on allegations. Bano tibali badde tebatisifanga kwege kakati bategedde omusango balowooza mbu bajja kugula bali babbye sente mu gavumenti babbye sango be babbyewa na zino eza Museveni bagenda zibba omusango guli very expensive basooka ne basonda $1 3 ne bazibbanganako ne bagenda omwani ne bajjayo sente ne bagenda mbachayina wano kuna nyingi hotel ne bawa $5,000 sente bazibbanganako kati the case is expensive. Babye sente buli wamu wonna 19 billion ezali eza TV za Museveni ne radio bazitwala musango okwo. Therefore stolen everywhere. Kakati has Museveni failed oba mmwe and they are running away from Museveni muwanga boba tufuge kubanga they are facing a challenge. They are going to become fugitives in Uganda. If you are going to become a fugitive in Uganda, what happens? What happens is that you must either be in power or install somebody in power. Museveni yabawayo bali abantu 15 abamu n'abajjamu kuba UN yasoka kuwandikira ye ne bakyusa buli minister wa justice tumwebaze n'akajjala mu genda ne mukubane mujjamu ne mu agriculture ngene mukuba mujjemu
muleke
ne mukuba mujjemu
musonyi
ne mukuba mujjemu ne mu agriculture ngene mujjamu ne mukuba mufulumi mutwala mu home
Home.
Eweka.
Home. Yanne pankira kuna.
Ate badana gambe byali
no yajako programu zange wanu by wanu. Naye kala banzite. Umusango gwenyuma tegugwa malojo. When you swear a calabash of beer, you refund by calabash of beer. And they are arrogant. The president number 5 billion never quarter. I must can't kneel before them. Ye Kalisa linki. Kalisa yabali yako milioni lukaga. I remember him the last day. Yarine baga. We can create something here for you.
Yalinani?
Nebaga. Nijikwata kimi. Enyondo najikwata kimi. Bemwase.
Nga wanze na yokola.
Huyo mbele na yu. Numuseta usidali na yu.
Noji udi.
There was only one person who knew I had a hammer. Hammer yangebera hu. Nyondo ya chiwanuka. Tradition.
Kuwanula.
Bamasayi nga batambula nebisaba Somali. Ni yange ya tradition. Arrest me ya tradition. This is my traditional hammer.
Polisi no yagano kala.
Ya chiwanuka.
Ewanula yo.
Is symbol. Is my culture. Si era bino ndalabye gundi banda inalabye
polisi yagano kala
temutambula nebisoto byose temuta bana
chichi
kakati abakwata abakazi banatambulira mu maliba ngawera amaliba nayendanga ainanga ino mutwe boda kakati onala disi wa Kampala waliyo lisafu udu oyo tawolebwa sente udu tawolebwa sente. Instead of mobilizing the Kampala people, is concentrating on border and to undermine Museveni's directive. Who tawole was said? There is another district shuffle. Who do tawole was said? Akozechi.
Hey.
To undermine Museveni's gundi, Museveni akugambe aba border badeyo bakole full stop. Mubatadde ko uniform. Uniform baba fe ugingiza amaje. Zinagenda zikola muki. Mu mubiri gwa muntu
mudiba
nidu musojjo eno wudu natabangula ekibuga kyonna nabagamba muve ku kibuga ekibuga kijja kuyikamu abantu nga wudu yadduka dda nga bo badduka dda kulya sente. How much money do you need? Era nze mbagamba nti I know they are recruiting for all disease. There is an immunity issue for all disease.
But
if the president does not address the issue of disease, another disease, according to the constitution, is a retired civil servant. This is the constitutional provision.
You know who is civil servant?
Yes, but you can be retired by appointment. No. Bari bagala DC, Oweda, former magistrate, former headmaster. Bari bagala ye dignity bali je banoonya a presidential representative naye Museveni tulijena mu byofuze tuita sleeping through a revolution. Omuntu yebaka n'afuluta naye nga tamanyi kiri mu ggwanga
nga yebakira mu nkyukakyuka
agenda okuzuuka nga ziwedde
omukukunavu
nze kyembayambako mutegeera ebiri mu ggwanga. Basajja batuula bufoofofo kutuleetera musika.
Batula bufofo kuleeta omusika.
Simanyi ayite mu parliament, ayite luddawa, ayite ate Museveni tabiriimu.
Museveni ayinza obutafaayo kwani anamusikira.
Bakuba bawulire.
Naye tugenda bakuba ngenda kakuba
tujja kunyonyola ebira kakube soko kakube naawe
kale
abantu bajjemu empewo.
And among them, we have Tamale Mirundi's, scary, confrontation. That is really going on. We all know that. Secondly, we have a lot of scares from the head of state himself, because he's like, I'm not interested in what you're doing. And that alone from the head of state means there can be a strong force invoked to fight us. So that is clearly understood. Thirdly, we know the fellowship can no longer stand because there are several challenges that we have from left to right, north to south. So the fellowship cannot stand. Fourthly, we look at the ongoing case in the international court. when they look at such a case, yes, it can be manipulated, expensive, but as long as we are steady and with the people on the ground, and the ground is where the evidences are supposed to be collected, it means we can still move forward and beat all odds. That is a very clear motive. So, my boss, I normally tell you that no matter what we have, and no matter what happens, there's always a way to circumnavigate the situation. You go around it, circumvent it. Are you getting it? When you circumvent it, there is something that you learn about it. You engulf it in the middle, and you can squeeze it, constrain it, and make sure that at the end of the day, you get the goals, you get the results you desire. So we need to look at all these things, and particularly, we need to redirect our energies and efforts towards the path of hope, glory, and victory. We cannot keep at that. No matter when I'm listening to Tamale Mirundi, I listen to so many things really. A lot of content. He always, unleashes. Some of it is good. Some of it is abusive. Some of it is confrontational. And some of it is destructive. But we simply have to be very careful on how it is perceived. To the people, he's being followed because he tells them exactly something that energizes them, that charges them against us. And that is why possibly, where Father Mugoska likes him. That's why His Excellency, the President, likes him. But should we stop at that? Should we say that the end justifies the means? Should we say his means are the best, so our end must be in total demise? I think something better can come up. I think we can become the real people, the real child, because we have the resources we need. We have the money we need. We have the influence desirable enough to create a new world for ourselves. So it is all about how the ping pong game goes. How we play the pawns to do the real job to protect the king and the queen. The king and the queen. So we don't have to be trollers, but we're going to try to challenge each and everything. We still have that capacity. We still have the real capacity. The moment we get organized, the moment we get to analyze the situation and get to know exactly what we need to move forward. The moment we have that, then the rest is okay. We don't have to suffer and agree downfall. We don't have to be abused for exercising our rights to live and be successful in life. Life is a modern jungle. Today, there is nowhere where you're not going to find rubbing of shoulders. That is the power. You treat your enemies in the worst way, which you would never desire to be treated, because this is a jungle, and the law of the jungle applies. It is victory for the fittest. If you can't be fit enough, then you can't do anything. Don't think Tamale Mirundi is not at war. Tamale Mirundi is at war. That's why he's fighting. And every victory he achieves, he goes, drinks, and dances himself up and down. And that is normal and acceptable. If you're allowed to be vanquished, the victor will write your history. So these are the challenges we're looking at. And they are life challenges. And apparently, they're facing us. I hope I'm understood.
Well, thank you very much. You see, it is a very good analysis, a very good presentation, and I would only like to compliment it. So, let me first address the challenge of Tamale. Let me tell you one thing. To me, Tamale is a voice of wisdom. And no matter when he's saying something, I open my ears wide and I leave my mind very sharp to pick up the nitty-gritty of his presentation. The gist of the matter is always there. Tamale is not a gambler and will never be one. Sometimes his presentation is a stubborn one. You see, when I was trying to read about the Uganda culture, I went into their traditional and the spiritism and then the religious. Then I got to learn about when I look at the Tamale Mirundi's character, he's Mamoyana. But this time he's a very good, very smart man. Now I understand why. You see, Spiritism is a reality. And the African tradition has always been here. Before the advent of these fake foreign religions, the tradition has the very, very real strength that directs, if I may term it, to God. And I know I'm very confident about that. So let us try to address the real issue now. So let's remove Tamale Mirundi from the equation, because he's exercising his right, and he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be. Because even if I were the one, and I had the guts Tamale Mirundi has, I would be one. And I'd bow with Tamale. So, we know our challenges. We are very arrogant fellows. Sometimes we misinform our friends or disinform them deliberately because we want to achieve some financial benefit from a deal X and Y. But the moment we realize that this is our responsibility, I believe we can adjust the way we approach each other. Now, currently, the house is burning, and we don't want to burn it down. We want to extinguish all the fires that be, which could cause destruction. Because any kind of destruction is going to annihilate everything. So, we are disagreeing with the status quo. I assume I'm not part of it, but I'm saying it. If you disagree, what approach are you going to use to make sure that you become part of the project? That should be a question to be answered by all of us here. Secondly, we are resourceful, we have a lot of money, and we are controlling a large section of the economy. Because after foreigners, I believe just a few members are holding a large chunk of the economy, which I believe would be a good move to ploy if it can be positively transferred into a power project, a political power project. It would do a lot. But if it is going to be used for the same house to fight for leadership, then we expect a crash not only of the economy, but an inevitable war that is going to be very destructive. And I'm looking at these odds. If we can avoid them, the better. That is what I'm looking at. So let us reorganize ourselves and see how basically we can try to make ends meet rather than fighting. Now, I would like to create a platform of ideas of how we can unify our divided thinking, and then we move in a simple way, what we would call, let us agree to disagree, but move together. Let me agree one is a woman, the other one is a male, or one is young and the other is old, but how do we complement each other? That will be a very important aspect, and I would like to be part of it. My submission is such simple. I'm not interested in what other parties contribute, but that is the most important thing I'm looking at. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable, I'm very grateful. Now I would like to advise my son here. I know Mama has her own attitude, and sometimes